Hi, this is Dee with Shaded Studio, and I'm going to show you how to do a really simple couple-step edit to easily transform your images, and this is without actions. You don't have to use them on these. Although I have actions that could help with this a lot, but it's just a really easy edit. So you open up your image, and I correct all white balance and exposure issues in ACR first, and I did that with this one. First thing I do is open a curves layer. I have Photoshop. If you have elements, I'll show you how to do it with just a levels layer in a minute. With the curves, I'll bring down the darks right here and make a nice little S-curve. Whoops. And then tones up slightly. And then if you're afraid highlights are going to blow, you can watch over here is where your highlights are being controlled. So you can just kind of watch that out. And as you can tell, just that already added a whole bunch of contrast and depth to it. That's too contrasty for me, so I'll bump it down to like 60. So it still adds a little bit. The next step I do is a dodge burn layer. Layer, new, layer. You can also just change your mode to overlay or soft light. And then you got this image. You don't have to fill it with the 50% gray. I do it so you can kind of also see on here what on your layer what you're actually dodging and burning. Dodge burn layer, you use black to burn, which darkens or deepens the exposure, and you use white to dodge, which brightens the exposure. So I got it at 37, which is kind of high, so we'll just go ahead and burn the back. It's your choice on what you want to burn. I burn the backgrounds, and I usually dodge things on the subject too. I'll burn clothing to make them more of the focus and draw it in towards them. And you can use the dodging around edges to create a nice vignette around it. And then go to white, change it to white. I'll drop that down even farther. And then it's going to lighten up anywhere you're brushing this white onto. I usually brush onto their skin, and I mean, depends on the image I'm doing. Sometimes I'll do the whole area. So just dodge and burning, you can tell it adds a whole bunch of dimension to the image, and I'll adjust that down so it looks more natural. And then the third step I do is a gradient map, and that's the fun part because you can adjust. That's how you do black and white also, but there's so many different options on color tonings and stuff like that. So if you want like a pink shadow, you can do this, and then go gradient map controls is sort of a map. It maps out where your shadows and your highlights are. This would be the shadow side, so if you want pink, you'll pick a pink color over here, or red color, whatever. This side will control your highlights, which I usually keep a skin tone color, and then hit OK. And you can keep it at normal and adjust down, and it's going to do a hazy type look to it. You can change it to overlay, soft light, and it adds a more contrasty look, and you can tell it just changed the whole tone of the image. If it does too much to the skin, you can just easily brush it off. Sometimes it affects the eyes quite a bit, so I'll brush off eyes. Get my brush up a little bit there. Okay. So that's just with a pink gradient, and you can double click it and change it around to like this natural color, a darker brown, a blue to orange, an orange. I mean, there's just this is unlimited. You can do whatever you want with this to create whatever effect you're going for, and you can layer them on to do different effects. So if you want like to darken the background or add a brown tone to the background and do a pink tone on top of it, you can do a brown gradient and then a pink gradient. So that's just a really quick edit. We'll just keep this one on right here. So it's just a nice light pink and cream, and it lightens it up for me. And that's a really simple edit in Photoshop. That's before, that's after. If you're doing elements, you want to create a levels, go up here, here, and then go to soft light, and that creates that sort of curves look that I got with this. So it's almost identical. Alright, thank you very much.